My name is Michael Mastro. Today we're going to look at the chart of Yevgeny Prigozhin. May he rest in peace. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Sagittarius rising at 12 degrees. First, we're going to look and see how the planets are operating in his chart and how they contribute to his successes, and then we'll look at the timing of events in his life and what could have been done to strengthen the chart. So Sun is ruling the house of good fortune through government, and it is poorly placed in a challenging sixth house, the sixth house of enemies. And so this doesn't, when Sun is weak, you don't get much support from father. His dad died when he was fairly young. And but does give him leadership skills, especially in conflict. So Sun is sitting in the house of conflict. And then we have Moon is the only malefic besides Rahu and Ketu, because you see Cancer, the fourth sign of Cancer, sitting in the eighth house, challenging house of vulnerabilities. It's ruled by Moon. So Moon can be challenging. Moon is sitting in the first house. So this gives him a lot of exposure to the public. Public image is very important to him, but he can be vulnerable in the public eye. Then we have Mars is placed in that same eighth house. It is ruling the house of creativity, education, children. And so his creativity comes through his military leadership in the Wagner Group. He started the Wagner Group. And there can be death-like experiences sitting in the house, eighth house of death-like experiences. Then we have Mercury, which is afflicted by Ketu. It's ruling the house of career, sitting in the house of partnership. So his career has to do with partnerships in fighting enemies. Then we have with the Wagner Group. And then Jupiter is ruling the first house. First house is his life purpose. And Jupiter has to do with teaching, optimism. It is sitting in the second house. So much of his career had to do with food, grocery stores, catering, restaurants. Second house has to do with those things. And then we have weak infant Venus. Venus is only at 2 degrees. Any planet that's less than 5 or more than 25 said to be weak, either infant state or old age. And so it's a little bit weak, and it is ruling the house of income. So again, Venus is connected to food, and so much of his income comes through service, through Venus. Now, Venus, that fifth house, which is ruled by Mars, that includes gambling. So he did have, I think, some casinos, or he himself was involved in gambling. So then, and then restaurants, Venus connected to restaurants. So some money came through gambling and a lot through the restaurants. And then Saturn is ruling the house of entrepreneurial success, and it is sitting in the house of wealth. And stability in the marriage. I think he did have one divorce. I'm not positive, but I think so. So the third house has to do with success. So his success comes through service to Putin and his homeland, Russia, and also through the restaurants. Then we have challenging Rahu and Ketu. They are at 7 degrees, which is fairly close to the rising sign degree. And a little bit close. And so they afflict the third house of success, the 7th house of income, the 9th house of health, the 1st house of creativity, and then the 11th house of success. Or excuse me. Yeah, the 11th house of income. So let's look at the timing and events. He was in prison from 2081, I think, till 90, and when he was released. So the time he was in prison was a K2 period. K2 bringing confinement. I think it was for theft. Then he was released in a moon period. Moon is life-changing events. And then in 97 to 91, he had grocery and gambling during a moon period. Moon is also some vulnerabilities there. And then in 95, he had did really successful in a restaurant during a Saturn period. Saturn's ruling the house of success. In 2014, he was with the military group, the Wagner Group, during a Mercury period, Mercury having to do with his career. And then in June of 2023, he started a rebellion during a Rahu period against Putin, and that did not end well. And then he was killed in a plane crash in 2023 during a Rahu period. Natal K2 was afflicting transit Saturn having to do with longevity. Transit Rahu was afflicting natal Venus. You see the chart, on the circular chart on the left. The outer circle is where the planets were when he died, and the inner circle is his birth chart. So to strengthen the chart, some charity for those who cannot help themselves, and spiritual organizations, as well as helping women. And then my favorite remedy, the Kavash, to strengthen his weak planets. You can purchase a Kavash or get a reading or learn Vedic Astrology at www.vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening.